Think you know racing? Think again. SailGP is back for the 2026 season. It will be bigger, faster,
They go over 103!
bolder. This is racing redefined. Think racing, think SailGP.
Oh, yes, and just think about what that is going to be like just out there. One of the best racetracks now on the circuit, of course, and it's going to kickstart the 2026 Rolex SailGP season here in Fremantle. And thank you, WA, for just putting on the weather this week. And the forecast say it's only going to get better over the weekend for what is going to be a very magical weekend of SailGP racing. Officially, good morning and welcome. This is the official opening press conference of the Oracle Perth SailGP, presented proudly by KPMG. I'm your host, Jim Callanan from Fox Sports. A real honour to be with you here yet again for what's already proving to be quite the historic week. I'll talk about drinking in those views. Late yesterday when I got in, the sun's setting, sitting at Bathers Beach, just going, how fantastic is this natural amphitheatre going to be this weekend? And tomorrow we're going to find out, because history already in this place, rich in maritime history for Australians saying and the world, is now going to add another very rich layer and chapter with its very own SailGP race. Already a sellout. Was going to be the largest ever fleet. I've got an update for you on that in a moment. But this weekend does mark the start of 13 stops around the globe. The largest prize in the sport, a cool $12.8 million US on the line, if you don't mind. And as we know, the Freo Doctor already doing its things. If you've already seen some of the great media capture around this week, the teams have already been getting to know what the Doctor can deliver. It hasn't been much relief. It's been thrilling already in practice, and it promises to deliver again on the weekend. So let's get to the breaking news right from the start. Spain will be missing this weekend's racing. A significant damage to their F50 craft in yesterday's practice. As you can imagine, not the start they wanted, not the start anyone in the fleet have wanted. So we wish them well as they try and repair the craft as quickly as they can. I'm sure we'll see them on the start line in Auckland, but just an update there. Spain will be missing this weekend's racing, and we just hope that they can turn that around very quickly. The teams there are fantastic, but it was just too quick to get them on the start line this weekend. So first time in Perth, but fittingly, it is the 50th event in the SailGP short but most intense history. A reflection of just how quickly this championship has grown since it first launched in 2018. Before we go any further, we'd all like to acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation as traditional custodians of the land on which we gather here, not only today, but for the weekend. What an incredible place. And, of course, we can't do it without incredible support. Rolex, of course, for the entire series, Oracle and KPMG here in Perth, and, of course, the wonderful WA government for laying on a fantastic natural amphitheatre and all the help that goes with it. So just on that front, we'd like to please welcome the Honourable John Carey, who's the Acting Minister for Sport and Recreation, to say a few words. Please make John most welcome.
Thank you. I have to say, on behalf of the Government of Western Australia, I couldn't be more proud. When you look out over the waters today, a stunning location, perfect weather for this incredibly exciting event. It is action-packed, and of course, we understand the importance of this event and this sport to Western Australia. When you hear about the media audience, an estimated 20 million people are going to be watching this event, we understand that this is really helping to showcase Fremantle and Perth. So I just want to say to SailGP, we are extraordinarily excited. We think that this is an incredible opportunity for our state. We know it is racing on the water. It is action-packed. There is adrenaline. And we also know West Australians are really excited. It is sold out. 15,000 tickets sold. I understand it's more than Sydney, which gives me some great pleasure. And of course, this is the first of 3 years. So our government is absolutely committed to this incredible event. Again, congratulations and looking forward to the action. Cheers.
Thank you, mate. Thanks again, John, and all the help, of course. These things don't happen without the great support of the WA government, and a nice little win of the ribs there to Sydney, of course, which is in a couple of weeks' time. Look, our next guest, of course, needs very little introduction, but one all the same. SailGP CEO and co-founder, Sir Russell Cootes, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Minister Carey, for that warm welcome to this beautiful city. To the Western Australian Government, our partners, teams, athletes, and members of the media, thank you for joining us here. This is a significant milestone for SailGP, and we are better to open the 2026 season than right here with a fully sold-out venue, a spectacular venue. The 2026 season marks a major step forward for SailGP, with 13 teams, 13 global events, increased prize money, which will no doubt be further enhanced as we go through the season, and continued growth on the water commercially and around the world. This weekend also marks Australia's first, I would say, true race stadium experience, where we've got grandstands right alongside the water in a venue that demands respect, and we've already seen that from the sailing teams this week. For those experiencing SailGP for the first time, I believe you're going to see some fantastic racing this weekend. We're entering what's likely to be the most competitive season in SailGP history. And after an active off-season of athlete transfers, we've got unbelievable depth across the fleet and no clear favourite heading into this event. In short, Perth is the perfect place to set the tone for this exciting new era of competition. So again, thank you all for what promised to be an exceptional opening event. I'll hand you back to Jim and to bring the athletes up here and let the racing speak for itself. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. All right, what a way to start the season. And what a way to set the tone for the rest of 2026 in Perth. And as our guests have already outlined, it's a sellout. 15,000 already around here and many millions more watching. And I have to get the plug in for my employers, Fox Sports and, of course, SBS, who broadcast it around the country. And, of course, all our broadcast partners right around the globe. Fremantle on show. Probably like never before, well, certainly in many decades when it comes to sailing. And SailGP is thanks to that. All right, enough from me. Let's hear from some of our absolute gun athletes who are going to be doing the first class action out there tomorrow and on Sunday. So we've got two moderated panels to come. And afterwards, for our media teams, our media friends, there will be the chance to do one-on-one. So just our SailGP media team, put your hands in the air. Prix and her wonderful staff, they will help you out. So any journos in the room looking for quick one-on-ones at the end, there is a limited time because, of course, there is training to be had. Please make sure your interest is known, and we could get those over the line as well. All right, let's get on to our first panel. The two-time Olympic medalist and driver for the Artemis SailGP team, Nathan Outeridge. Joining Nathan, Eric Heil, driver for the Germany SailGP team, presented by Deutsche Bank. Founder and CEO for the Red Bull Italy SailGP team, Jimmy Spithill. And the newly minted DS Automobiles Team France, Quentin de Lapierre. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our first panel this morning. Nath, I'll start with you. Officially, welcome back, mate. You've been in and around SailGP ever since it started, but back officially, so good to see you. But you've been very busy, and I'm not sure you've made too many friends across the paddock because you've had to pinch players, pinch some of their best for your team. So how has the welcome been back for you?
We'll find out this weekend how the welcome's been, but it is really cool to be back, and great memories sailing here in Perth as well, in Fremantle. It's a fantastic venue. And yeah, it's been a busy 6 months putting together the team and calling old friends and asking if they want to come sail with me. So we've got a cool lineup and looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be too hard when you were calling for some help on that front. But in terms of racing here, you just land into it a little bit. I mean, always see the breeze is up. Gee, it's been a big week already. We've seen some incredible pictures of your boat airborne and what the doctor can do. There's been some house calls already. Just take us through what you've experienced already this week here in Freo.
Yeah, it's obviously pretty rough out there, and our first warm-up lap on Tuesday didn't really go according to plan. We did a round-up at the leeward end of the course, and I just said, we'll just do a nice easy one here, keep lots of grip, and unfortunately Andy Maloney just lost the grip slightly. We had a bit of a leeway skid, the foil vented, and then we got ejected into the sky, And unfortunately, Chris Draper got flung onto the boat and got pretty badly hurt on his lip. So a bunch of stitches for him and a day off on Wednesday, but he was back on board yesterday and we were back sailing.
Yeah, gee, it doesn't really paint a pretty picture of a nice day sailing. How is Chris?
He looks better than that now. But yeah, he was pretty quiet on the boat yesterday. As you can imagine, it's pretty hard to talk when you've got that many stitches in your lip. But he's really tough, and you know, he's such a strong competitor. And I was saying, you know, take another day off and get into it today. But you know, when you hire great people, they want to get back as soon as they can. So it was awesome to be sailing with him yesterday.
Well, Russell mentioned it. It's been probably the biggest disruptive transfer season this off-season because of the likes of new teams coming in and people switching crews. So to Conton, you've welcomed Lee McMillan back as a wing trimmer, signed a new grinder, reserve athlete, a rookie, plus a new team manager in Philip Prix. Talk us through this squad because it's a different looking one since the last time we've seen you.
Yeah, exactly. We changed a few things in the team. I think Bruno did a good job with Stefan to be active in the mercato time. Super pleased to see Philippe Presti coming in. Sorry, Jimmy, but honestly, it's been a while that in France we want to see Philippe coming back. So super great news, and sailing again with Lee McMillan. I mean, so much pleasure. Just enjoying the journey with him. He's a super talented athlete, super technical, and for the moment, yeah, it's going well.
Jimmy, I know it's the business we're in, but to see someone of the quality of Philippe leave your setup and go to Contons, how did that go down, and how does that leave you today, moving into this first one of the season?
Yeah, I was excited for Philippe. You know, I mean, we've had a very, very great relationship, more like a family member, to be honest. And I was excited when the opportunity came up with Quentin and the French team. At the same time, for Red Bull Italy, it was a great opportunity to bring in some new blood and some new energy. So we've got Tom Burnham, who replaced Philippe as head coach. We have Nick Asher coming in, very successful athlete himself. So that's also bred some new, you know, energy and some ideas and just a different look. So, yeah, we're seeing a lot of rotation in the teams, and I think it's healthy.
I'm going to come back to that in a moment. I'll just stick with Conton for a moment. In terms of all those changes and what we've seen result-wise, you've just missed that podium the last couple of years. Is it almost win or bust for your team this year because of those changes?
Not really. Firstly, I'm super proud to announce that our official name for this new season will be DS Automobile SailGP Team France, and which is a really good news. We will be super able to anticipate the new seasons with a good bench of sponsorship with DS Automobile, Accor Group, Leighton and L'Oreal. So, yeah, we've been under pressure in the commercial side for a few years now, and I think Stéphane and Bruno did an unbelievable job. And yeah, for the new seasons coming in, we'll be able to set up the structure and just fine-tune the vision.
Yeah, congratulations on that. You beat me to the punch. It's wonderful news to have such wonderful supporters for the team. But you talk about pressure. What about the pressure for you in the main seat? Does it build now a little bit more after another season of just missing that grand final race again?
Yeah, I mean, this is SailGP is just under pressure all the time. Sometimes you have training time, sometimes you have not. Sometimes you have windy conditions, sometimes it's super soft as Abu Dhabi. So you just have to, I would say, just push yourself to improve and deliver some results. But this is also really stimulating.
Jimmy, back to you and the team. And you're up here, and we're very happy that you are. But Phil, he's back in SailGP. He's a fan favourite, but he's not here today. Can you give us an update where he's up to? There was some talk he was a bit ill. What's the latest?
Yeah, he was a little under the weather yesterday, and so we just said to, you know, enjoy this Perth lifestyle and sleep in a little bit this morning. So, yeah, I've jumped in for him, but he'll be out there on the water, and there's no doubt in my mind he'll be full throttle when he's out there. What
does he bring? Because, as I mentioned, he's a fan favourite, and he's very good at giving the great grabs as well. He adds a lot of colour.
I mean, he's an amazing athlete, Phil. I mean, I've been watching him for a number of years now. Very well-rounded, a natural leader. He's got a long history of leading successful teams in different disciplines of the sport. He's been involved with multiple SailGP teams. And I believe the break he had last season was actually really good for him. And just seeing him integrate into the team, the process, it's been really, really cool to see him come in and really just, literally take the bull by the horns in our team and get out there. And he's really, really excited to get on that water and, start racing. We saw him jump in, basically, in Abu Dhabi with a year off and get second.
Yep.
So pretty impressive in this fleet.
So just confirming, because there was a little bit of a whisper if he wasn't okay, you'd be in the driver's seat. That's not going to happen. He's definitely right to go.
Mate, after walking into this adrenaline lounge, I will not be leaving the adrenaline lounge.
Don't worry, neither am I. You and I can sit back and relax this weekend. Eric, welcome. Just tell us about what you've experienced so far. It's a new stop, of course, for a lot of the crews like yourself, seeing it for the first time, or certainly on an F50. What have you experienced so far, and what do you think you're going to experience this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's hectic out there. Fremantle Doctor is hitting hard, and we've been here, most of us, 15 years ago already for, shared Olympic World Championship, and was epic venue for us, super welcoming atmosphere from all the people in Australia, and really happy to be here. It's going to be probably the fastest and uncontrolled racing we've seen so far, and looking forward to that.
See, that's the thing. It's all right to do in practice, but you're going to have a full fleet of boats right next to you, all at high speed. What experience can you give to your team of what to expect out there, given what you've already experienced here all those years ago?
I mean, we also had some changes in the team, so we need to get dialed in with the wing trimmer and with all the technical adaptations on the boat. You have a little less margin here with the steep waves to fly the boat really high, but obviously everyone tries to be as high as you possibly can and to be as fast as you possibly can. So we will see a lot of crashes, and not boat-to-boat crashes, but nosedives, and the boats will be probably flying around pretty hectic.
Does it feel like the year that you really want to put a marker in the sand of really having consistent competitive Grand Prix each and every week?
Yeah, I mean, that's the main goal for most of the teams. We had a steep learning curve, I would say, even from the beginning on, but lately we felt even better, showing that also in results. And the last half year was really good for us to get some confidence on the race course against the other boats. But you feel, feel the people are pushing hard and they're all developing, and it's only the question who develops the quickest. And I hope we will be in the mix.
Jimmy, there's always plans until they say you get a punch in the face. I think Mike Tyson said that. The Fremantle Doctor's a fair chance going to be punching in the face over the weekend. Give us reality. What are we going to expect as fans and spectators, 15,000 of us lining up here to see it live tomorrow?
Yeah, well, as we've seen with Chris, there's already been a couple of punches thrown. So, there's no doubt. And the last couple of days, all the teams that have been out there, they've kind of been on a stretch course. But as soon as you start putting them into the cage and in these conditions, we will see some action. That is absolutely guaranteed.
And Nath, just lastly for you, I know Artemis, a new team, you'd say, okay, you've got a little bit of time to prove your worth. But I think everyone looks at you and your team and going, no, you guys can be contending straight away. What's the ceiling for you this year, and also for this weekend? What sort of a statement can you make for the year ahead?
Well, I guess the thing with SailGP is you don't actually have any time to get yourself sorted. So, we've been preparing as best we can for this weekend. And I think you ask any team up here what their goal is for the season. The goal is to be on the podium at the end of the year. That's really ambitious for all the teams to say that. But for us, with a new group of people, that's the ultimate goal. But as Eric was saying, it's a long season. We just got to get into it slowly. So, Jimmy made a good comment. We're all about to go into the cage on the weekend. We've been sailing at a longer course with 6 boats in the practice. We're about to double that on the weekend. That's pretty intimidating, but also really exciting. So we're pretty excited to get onto the race course and just sail as good as we can. We know it's a long season, and I've been out of it for a year, so I haven't really done a race for almost a year and a half now. So it was good to get a few practice races under the belt, and can't wait for tomorrow.
I'm starting to hear like it's going to be a bit UFC come to Freo on the water. Just keep it clean out there, can you, gentlemen? That would be great. Make sure those boats come back in one piece. Folks, wonderful to have them up with us today, but we just can't wait to see them out there over the weekend. Please thank our athletes up for our first section of the panel here today. Thanks, lads. Thanks. Good to see you, mate. All right, so we've heard from, I guess, kindly putting it, from some of our disruptors. Now let's hear from some of our proven contenders. On to our second half of our panel. I'd like to invite the defending Rolex SailGP champion from Emirates, Great Britain, their driver, Dylan Fletcher. Perennial title contender from the Bonds Flying Roos, their strategist, Tash Bryant. Three-time SailGP champ grinder for the Bonds Flying Roos and WA native Kinley Fowler. The Prince of Perth is here. Royalty. And last but not least, of course, the Black Falls driver and Olympic gold medalist in his own right, Peter Burling. Put your hands together, folks. Dylan, welcome back. And congratulations again, I guess. It's only been a couple of months and they're still sinking in, but I guess this time last year, you probably turned up with a bit of a point to prove. Fair to say you did that. On reflection, how special was that to get a win and take home the grand final just a few months ago?
Yeah, it was an unbelievable year back with the Emirates GBR, and just really felt like we kept on building momentum up to that grand final. So hopefully we can continue that into the start of the 2026 season. We got Stu joining us. Last time we raced together was the Olympics, so some good teamwork and fond memories with him.
Does the champagne taste better out of that?
Always.
I'm not sure if it's still got your fingerprints on it, but I'm sure you want to make sure it's there at the end of it. But looking back at how you did it in Abu Dhabi, we all know it was one of the most thrilling finals that we've seen in SailGP history. Just take us back to that race and the move that effectively won the team $2 million US.
Yeah, I think, we saw in that grand final, it's just very much that testament of SailGP and the level. Any one of the three teams could win it. We'd all done a lot of planning, and I really just felt very proud of the whole team. We talked about being on the back foot after the start and what we'd do, and we kept going, dug deep, and gave that opportunity at the top.
Pete, sadly, when there's a win, there's the people that are almost the supporting act. And for your team, have been there and thereabouts for so long. Was that one particularly harder to take, given the position you were in? I think, a lead of around 100 metres there at one point?
Yeah, we definitely gave ourselves a great opportunity, but at the end of the day, didn't make the right call on that last top mark and let it slide. So, for us, we'd obviously put a lot of hard work into it. It's been a really tough weekend for us as a team with a lot of slight complications, but we gave ourselves a chance, but couldn't get it done. So full credit to the other teams.
In terms of that, how long did it take for you to actually watch it back? Because you have to, I guess, to learn from these things. And how tough was that as a team to look at how close you did come?
It definitely gives you plenty of motivation for the season ahead. And, I think right across the whole group, we're super proud of what we achieved that season. We had a new flight controller with Leo, quite a new group, and really built momentum really well through the season. So, for us, we feel like we're still on that positive trajectory, and it's going to be a completely different weekend here. Other end of the breeze spectrum, probably the other end of the configuration spectrum as well. So looking forward to trying to put one notebook away, pull out the other one, and get off to a good start to the season.
We'll come back to you in a minute because I want to talk to you about your team, because it's one of the rosters that's relatively unchanged, and I'm sure that is probably a little bit of a hidden advantage at the start of the season. So I'll come back to you on a moment. I just want to bring in Tash because you've probably seen both sides of it, haven't you? The enormous highs and unfortunately the low there of just coming runner-up in that final a few months ago. Difficult to ride those emotions, but the thing you got to do, how do the Bonds Flying Roos bounce back from that?
Yeah, I mean, if we hadn't won the years before, I don't think I would have realised how much it hurt. But yeah, we've only had a couple of weeks turnaround in comparison to the last few seasons where we've had a big break. So yeah, not much time to decompress and just revisit what happened. But everyone's really keen to get back into it and so excited to race at home in the first event of the season. Yeah,
2 events in your home country, but first time here. Have you found the reception in WA so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's stunning. We sadly missed the first day of training, but the last couple of days have been awesome out there. We love the breeze and just the weather's been insane. And
the bloke next to you, they've almost been throwing rose petals at his feet. The native, he's back home. How much fun to be walking around with the Prince of Perth?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kinley's been waiting for this event for years now, so he's loved showing us around his hometown.
Well, Kinley, to you. Mate, firstly, if you've got your bonds on, you don't have to show us, of course. But we've seen some acting skills from the new owners involved too. Here we are, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, no less, co-owners of the Bonds Flying Roos coming in. And this is the sight they see, Kinley. Acting career, is that the future for you?
I think we've all proven that we're better sailors than we are underwear models, so we've put that one to bed now.
But fair to give, what sort of a moment's that like? You got two of the biggest names in Hollywood, now part of the team, but not quite sure you saw that in the brochure when you signed up this year.
No, definitely not. No, we're super stoked to have guys like that. I don't think anyone really dreamed of people like those guys coming on board with our team and, even being involved with the sport of sailing, really. So to see this sport grow and this league grow has just been unreal, and to have them super excited to be part of the team and get involved is amazing.
Tash, come clean. How many extra crunchies, sit-ups, push-ups was Kinley doing before that shoot? Because he did look pretty buff.
Confirmed, Kinley wasn't the one doing it.
Was there a bit of man-fanning going on? What were they like?
Oh, I mean, we actually met Hugh for the first time in our underwear, so it was slightly awkward interaction, but we all got through it just fine, and yeah, we're still here today. So
Very good. Well, that's fantastic to have names like that involved in the Rolex SailGP and, of course, the Bonds Flying Ruse. But to some serious stuff now. Ian Jensen was meant to be the first race ever with the Australian flag back on his chest. What's the latest? There was a bit of an incident yesterday. Kinley, can we go to you? What happened? How's Ian?
Yeah, as seems to be the way in sailing, every time something bad happens, it was the last thing we were going to do for the day, and we went for a jibe, and Ian was crossing the boat and hurt his knee. So he's getting that looked at today, and we're going to rest him today for sure. And then we're just going to assess it later on today to see if he can join us for the weekend.
I'm sure there's a lot happening behind the scenes. Can you just take us behind the velvet rope? What's going on at the moment? Do you think there's a chance he could miss the weekend?
Well, yeah, there's a reason why I'm here and not Tom. It's not often that you get the Grinders Union represented on the white couch. We've got Glenn Ashby here, who's a bit of a veteran of the sport. I'm sure a lot of you guys know his name. And so Tom's with him now, and they're just sort of briefing in case the worst comes to worst and we have to sit in for the weekend. So we're going to go out there today with Glenn Ashby and try and, get our team gelling together, and in case it comes to that.
All right, so there's some more big news on the update there for the Bonds Flying Ruse, and let's hope that it's only a short-term injury for Goobs, of course, who was meant to be, of course, back in for his first one, but won't be too far if it's not this weekend. But, of course, it's all part of the big moves in, of course, to Australia. Chris Draper moving to Artemis, and then that opened the door for Stu Bithell to return to you, Dylan, at Emirates GBR. So not a bad guy to have back in this Olympic gold medal union that you've got on the boat. How quickly have you been able to gel?
Yeah, it's been really good to get him back, and obviously there's a lot to learn, like different playbooks, but it's been awesome sailing together. He's a really big character, a lot of fun, and just really excited to get out there racing and see what we can pull off.
Does the boat get weighed down a bit more, those extra gold medals that are on board?
Yeah, well, he's packing a couple of extra pounds over Goobs, but hopefully that'll help us swing it around on this big doctor here in Fremantle.
So, Pete, just coming back to you and your roster, which has largely been unscathed through all of this, how important can that be at the start of a season, given everyone else is trying to use these rare training days to get up to speed? You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's been super nice to have the same kind of starting lineup that we've had last season. We obviously had a big change last season, losing Andy. So that for us has been a lot of upskilling and processing. We've actually got new faces in our coaching department at the moment, so that's been bringing a really cool fresh energy to the group, and will be a process through that. But yeah, I mean, to have a consistent lineup, be really happy with your lineup, something that's putting us in really good stead coming into this first event of the season, and we're looking forward to continuing to grow.
And is it nice to have the same crew? Because I get a sense you're really out there for a little bit of redemption this year.
Yeah, super nice to have the same crew. Like everyone's been finding here, we've obviously still been making the most of the training days, kind of rolling through our contingency plans, putting people in different spots on the boat. But yeah, I mean, having the same crew just makes your life so much easier, and you can really focus on the small details rather than having to kind of go back to the full basics.
You mentioned losing a coach. Has that hurt a bit? Given I'm sure it's very important to have those people offshore to give you those little bits of tactics along the way. Was that a bit of a hit?
Oh, for sure it's a hit. But in saying that, having a bit of churn in the teams is really positive. having some new faces, some new ideas. I think this brings that new energy to the group, and we're super excited by the setup we have now and looking forward to building that through the season.
Fair to say maybe Artemis is a team you're pretty keen to get one over, though, all the same. I know there's a bit of spice along the cruise.
Yeah, I think you look at any of the teams, if you get too focused on one of them, you'll lose the big picture. So, there's plenty of teams that are going to be fighting at the front this season. I'm sure it's going to be our tightest season yet. And looking at the practice, everyone seems super comfortable in the boats in some pretty tricky conditions. So, we're just focused on making sure we put our best foot forward and, looking forward to trying to put together a solid event to start off the season.
Tash, no doubt, Australia at home waters. There's only one thing for you, top step of the podium. A little bit of added pressure there.
Oh, a little bit of pressure, but I mean, we all just really want to go out there and win any regatta, not just our home one. So, take it like any other event.
All right, Dylan, last word to the defending champ. This is the first step to making sure you keep a hold of this magnificent Rolex trophy behind us. How tough is it going to be with the biggest fleet that SailGP's ever been? I know Spain's not there this week, but they soon will be. They're 13 boats each Grand Prix. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute incredible season, as been touched on. It's going to be the hardest yet. And I think, we'd love to go out here and take the win. We took it off the Aussies last year in Sydney, so we'll be gunning for that this time.
A nice little one to the ribs there, Tash. I was trying to set you up. Very well played. You're too good for me. Folks, wonderful to have your company here today. We can't wait to see you out there tomorrow. Good luck to you all, and may the best cruise win. Thanks for our special guests, ladies and gentlemen, as they head off to training. Actually, a few one-on-ones, so I'll let them head off to the side. But just on that, folks, any of our friends in the media who would like some one-on-ones, please do see Prix and the hardworking SailGP media staff, and they'll do their very best to facilitate those one-on-ones. But just remembering they do have to head off for training very, very soon. In fact, you'll see that out here in the waters in an hour or so as well after they do dock in. So that does officially conclude our formal part of the media press conference this morning. So thanks again to all our very special guests to be with us here. Thanks for coming along. Tomorrow's action gets underway 1 p.m. local time. Tickets, yes, they might be sold out, but as we mentioned, racing will be broadcast right around the world and around this great country of ours. So make sure you tune into Fox Sports and SBS locally, and of course you'll know where to look online as well on sailgp.com/watch. Welcome to Freo and the start of the Rolex SailGP, everyone.